Welcome to Morfanime. I'm your fan of more anime. How's everybody doing today? I hope it's going good for you like it is for me. I just got off work. I actually just finished reading the Whole Cake Island arc. If you watched my part 1 review, if you haven't, please go back and watch it before you watch this review here. This is my part 2 review of Whole Cake Island. The last 20 chapters or so. I have an exact count. Let me look that up. I should have done that before I started recording. Okay, this is chapter 879 to chapter 902. That is correct. So, give or take 20-something chapters. Not too bad. They've jam-packed a lot of stuff into these 20 chapters, though. This is a good time. I really enjoyed Whole Cake Island as a whole. It was a good time. I try to compare it to other arcs to see where it ranks for me, and it's real close with Dressrosa. I really enjoy Dressrosa. I almost want to compare it with Dressrosa because it had the other half of the crew and this had this half of the crew. What was better? What did you guys think was better? Whole Cake Island or Dressrosa of New World arcs, you know? I'm stuck because I really like Doflamingo, but I also really like Katakuri. Doflamingo had a lot more background and backstory for us to sink our teeth into before we even got to see him fight. So then he started out way back around Skypiea. We met Doflamingo. We meet Katakuri this arc, but he has one of the best fights in the series. One of the longest fights. Oh my god, that Luffy versus Katakuri fight really kicks off these 20 chapters or so, and it lasts almost till the very end. Almost nearly 20 whole chapters of Luffy and Katakuri fighting in and out of the story. I do like that Oda spliced the fight with other things going on. You know, with the Straw Hat crew trying to escape the Big Mom crew. With Sanji and Pudding and Cheffin? Bege's wife cooking a cake. And Big Mom flying around, getting skinnier and skinnier, yelling, "I want wedding cake!" I'll be honest with you. One of the reasons this arc got annoying at the last 20 chapters was listening to Big Mom say, "Wedding cake! Wedding cake!" I'm starting to think that Big Mom probably won't be the best of the 4 emperors, like character-wise. I mean, I think her backstory was really well done. Her eating that lady, Carmel, and gaining her devil fruit ability, wow, dark, very dark. And her killing her own son just because she had hunger pains, pretty dark. But maybe later we're going to find out why she has these hunger pangs and why she was born so big. I don't think we got that information, if we ever will. It might just be one of those things that we never get really explained. Because you could feel bad for her if she was cursed or something. Yeah, I don't know. She just seemed like a monster in these last 20 chapters. Oh, wedding cake. And it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like a main villain like her should have more on her mind than wedding cake. And I know it's like a disability, her having these hunger pangs, but it seems like a major weakness for her. Because at any point, even if she's busy, even if someone smashes a picture she absolutely adores, she's going to worry about this damn wedding cake more than she worried about this picture that she loved so much. Same with, it's kind of crazy. She's also a very good villain when she's not in her hunger pangs form. So hopefully that's not as common. Hopefully she brings a granola bar with her more often, just in case. But, it has to be a specific type of food. If they don't have the food, she's got to leave the area to go get the food. Or murder everybody, then go leave the area. I guess that's good that she has a weakness, but she does not seem as intimidating as the Kaido that I've seen, as Blackbeard at all, as Shanks at all. We'll see what happens. Maybe we're going to learn more and I just need to shut up. But Luffy versus Katakuri, that was a killer match. That was a badass match. And I mean, Katakuri hasn't been in the story that long, but I think Oda did a great job developing him mostly in this fight. A lot of the times with main villains like that, like Katakuri was kind of the de facto main villain of this arc. Same as Big Mom technically was the leader of the Big Mom pirates, but Katakuri is the one that faced Luffy. Very interesting. Katakuri has a nice backstory. He's a good guy. I mean, at not one point did I ever feel maliciousness coming from this guy. A lot of his brothers and sisters are just evil. Bad people. Maybe they're just drinking the Kool-Aid, the Big Mom Kool-Aid too much, and Katakuri's just, I don't care about this evil empire or taking people's souls. I care about protecting my family. And I got to do that by putting on this persona and hiding my real face. Speaking of Katakuri's real face for a second here, what is up with that? Why does he have the big stitchy mouth with the big teeth and the big jaw? Who is his father? Why has he got that monster face going on? You know, like he can't just have been a human and got born that way. We know Big Mom goes and finds like interesting husbands to make interesting children. So I'm curious about that. Oh, and then also about Big Mom's character, what she did to Lola's dad and Cheffin's dad was so messed up. He never got to hold his daughters. And his sacrifice in these 20 chapters, in a lot of ways, hit me harder than Pedro's sacrifice. We got to see 2 sacrifices, very emotional sacrifices in this arc. And Pedro's it reverberated throughout the entire rest of the arc after he died. It inspired everybody else to fight even harder. Then Chefin, I don't know her name, Bege's wife's dad, who just wanted to say goodbye and see the grandchild and all that. Very sad. Very sad. And then his own stepson, Oven, I believe his name was, comes down and cuts his head off panel. If Lola's dad is alive, I'm going to be unhappy. 'Cause if it's another Pell situation like at Alabasta when he survived that explosion, I'm going to be a little miffed. I don't want to be a nudge. But he got his head cut off camera. And if it's not true, if he just cut his arm off or something, or cut his leg off and he's still alive and we meet him again later, I'm going to be a little mad because I really got a little emotional when he sacrificed himself so that little Sanji Cheffin's crew could get away, and he got to see the baby, Capone's kid Pez, before he died. That was good. That was good writing. I just have a feeling that we're in 100 chapters later, we're going to find out he's alive, and he just bled a little bit. I don't know. I just hope that isn't true. I hope he's gone, because that was a major sacrifice for me, because I did not give a shit about his character. I didn't think it really mattered that much when we met him back at the woods, the crazy Toon World woods, the seducing woods. We met him all stuck in the ground and whatnot, and Cracker and all that shit. I didn't think he really was necessary. I feel like we could have got a lot of the information that he gave out from a villain like Cracker or Brule. But him making that sacrifice made it all worthwhile, people. I mean, he had his own little character. I think he said "like" a lot in all of his sentences. He was fine. I just was like, cool, Lola's dad, I guess, cool. I mean, it really, really hit when he sacrificed himself. Just unexpected. But I would say Pedro's death, it was much more inspiring for the actual characters in the story, though. But for me, Lola's dad, all day. Man, Katakuri has a really cool fighting style as well. It's crazy that he's a paramecia, but he has elements of a Logia. Like, he can change his body and things can pass through him like a Logia, but I'm assuming it's not all the time. As long he's just really adept with his fruit. He's awoken it. I hope not every devil fruit user we meet from this point on is going to have awoken devil fruits. I want that to be a rare thing, you know? Like Doflamingo's was rare, and then maybe in a couple islands from now we'll meet another one. Katakuri is hopefully just a coincidence, a quinky dink, because I remember when we first introduced regular devil fruits, then everybody had one, and now we're going to introduce hockey, and then everybody knows how to do it. And then we're going to introduce awoken devil fruits, and then every villain from now on is going to have that. I hope that's not true. I hope other villains don't necessarily have to have a devil fruit ability to be strong. I want to see some variety. You could have somebody... Oh, and also he's got the super observation hockey, the advanced observation hockey, so he can see a little bit into the future. I'm not exactly sure how far, but I really like how that was implemented into this fight. And I can understand it. He can kind of see... They've been teasing characters seeing a little bit into the future for a while. Like when Luffy fought the Boa Hancock sisters, one of them had really good observation hockey. Was that advanced observation hockey? Because she was kind of knowing what move Luffy was going to do. And I think that also happened at Skypiea. So Katakuri's not the only one, but maybe he can see even further ahead in the future. I really like Katakuri. I like his look. I like that he's like kind of a villain, but not. I could see him becoming more prevalent in the story going forward. I was almost hoping that Big Mom would die and he would take over or something. Because I like him. I like him as a villain. But like I said, he's not really a villain. So what are they going to do? But he also wants to protect his sisters. What's he going to do now? He's got to go to Big Mom and be like, I failed. I lost. He's got to tell people that he lost. It's not fair. This guy's a good guy. He just wants to protect his family members that have weird looks to them and show that everybody he's tough. He has all these legends about him that aren't true. But Luffy, all his legends are true. Everything said about him is true because he can't tell a lie. I like that Katakuri's ability not only had elements of being a Logia, but he could manipulate this mochi. Mochi isn't that green stuff, right? That's wasabi. Right? The stuff that you get, that spicy stuff, I don't like it. But mochi is a sweet treat, I'm assuming. That I've never had it. That's what I'm saying. Mochi, he can stretch like Luffy, but he's even better at it. Like, he is way more proficient with the stretching and the elephant guns than Luffy is. And he also is, he can see a little bit into the future. I really like that aspect of the fight. I liked that it was one of the first times Luffy's ever faced somebody who had similar powers to him. Like a lot of anime sometimes, or just Marvel, or just regular superheroes, they'll be like, okay, who should Static Shock fight? How about another guy with electric powers? But he's got electric power. Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool to see another guy with electric powers fight him? The next movie's like, what should he fight now? He's like, another guy with electric powers, but this time they're red. You know what I mean? Or the Flash and Reverse Flash. Most Dragon Ball characters all have the same pew 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 going on. Not a lot of diversity. But that's one of the things I really love about One Piece is because of the Devil Fruits, a lot of diverse fighting styles. And this was interesting because he not only had similar fighting to Luffy, but even better because he could summon a bunch of arms and have a bunch of arm punching at the same time, stretching and punching with armament hockey. Little donut things, and he's a donut man for sure. We got to see him eat inside this little mochi house with the giant donut laying on his back, chilling like a glutton. I like that. I didn't like his sister that was praising him for being great, and then when he told her to butt out and not interfere in the fight, and she saw his face, she was like, "You're ugly! You're not my brother! You're the worst! I'm going to tell everybody! I'm going to Instagram this, and the whole family's going to find out. I'm the favorite sister." She was kind of shoehorned into that fight, but it did help show me what Katakuri's all about. I really liked how they implemented a classic storytelling device where Luffy kept getting knocked down, but he kept getting back up. And it's not about how many times you get knocked down, people. It's about how many times you get back up. And as long as you can get back up that one more time than you fell down, you win. And Luffy kind of won. It was kind of a draw, though. If you think about it, they both kind of fell. They both were kind of out of it. But if Katakuri wanted to keep going, Luffy would have kept going as well because he had something to fight for. his crew, baby. And he said he's going to do something. He's going to do it. Brule, the mirror lady, she got used like a port key with this whole mirror system from midway through this arc all the way to the end. She got captured and was used to go through the mirrors for the rest of the arc. And then she got away and then got captured again and was used to go through the mirrors throughout the rest of the arc. I liked how Luffy used her to escape into the regular world and wait the 10 minutes after using Gear 4 to charge back up and then get back into the fight. I liked the flashbacks with him training and Rayleigh telling him, hey man, you gotta fight people stronger than you with Haki to become better at using Haki. I liked how Katakuri told Luffy, you're seeing, like, something like you can see farther in the future than me, or you're looking farther in the future than I can, because Luffy just believes that he can, he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to become the king of the pirates. He believes he's going to win this fight, even if he's weaker. He will not go down. You're going to, fuck it, he's going to win. He believes he's going to win. He's going to win. This was, I mean, I guess this and the fight with Doflamingo were the two fights where Luffy has actually gone all out. It's going to be interesting because he beat this guy who has got $1 billion bounty or whatever. $1 billion, I think it's 1.5 billion berry bounty, some shit, something huge. So Luffy might double his bounty. I could see that happening. He definitely deserves it. After beating this guy. This guy, I believe, has a higher bounty than that Jack guy that was part of Kaido's crew that was fucking up the damn minks. Yeah, I think he had a higher bounty than that. So I think Luffy could probably beat the Jack guy as well. It's going to take a lot to beat Luffy nowadays. Luffy he took fatal blows. He took a major gash out of his left side. When Katakuri spun his blade, spun himself on his mochi arm and basically buzzsawed Luffy's side, mostly because his sister interfered. But dang, that looked like he shouldn't be able to get back up. But he's Luffy, and he's going to always bounce back, baby. And he did. I enjoyed that fight a lot. I really did. I think I can recall most of the things in that fight more than I can recall what happened in the Doflamingo fight. I know it's farther away, but I think there was a lot of memorable moments in that fight. But I think the Doflamingo fight is better because of all the backstory we got about Doflamingo, and Law was involved as well, so we had the implementation of his Devil Fruit ability within that fight, which was very fun. I like Snake Man, though, better than I like Bounce Man. The guy, he has the Black Mamba thing where the fist goes around him and then comes in on the other side. And, I mean, that was pretty dope. It didn't seem to last that long. It was like a chapter, maybe two. He lost. I mean, I don't think Katakuri lost. I think it was a draw. It's weird. It's weird with One Piece because they were fighting. It didn't seem like Katakuri wanted to win for a while. It was like, I'm just doing my job as the big brother. I gotta do this. This arc really made me like Bege Capone. He was probably my least favorite supernova from Saba Odi when we first met them all, because he didn't seem that interesting. I thought he was going to be a one-note guy that just did Capone jokes. He's not. He's not like that at all. He's got a whole character, a whole background. I think he ran the South Blue as a mob boss or some shiz. He's now here, probably looking for the One Piece. He's got a really cool Devil Fruit ability. I like that he believes in his family. He's willing to die for his crew. He's a real captain. He definitely deserves to be a part of the 11 Supernovas. And this was cool because at Dressrosa, we kind of got to learn, and at Punk Hazard, we got to learn a lot more about Law. And here, in a lesser extent, we got to learn a lot more about Bege Capone. He didn't have a really sad backstory, which is nice, because I'm glad that not everybody has a tear-jerking backstory, but it's cool, and I hope we keep with that. I hope the next few arcs we meet other supernovas like Jewelry Bonnie, who I'm very interested in. What's his name? Hawkins. I would like to see more of him. I know he was teaming up with Kid before that party got broken up by Kaido. He's interesting with the tarot card reading thing. I don't really care too much about Apu. I think he's working with Kaido now. And I think my least favorite of them is Rouge, the guy with the wings. But before that, it was Capone. But after Whole Cake Island, you really appreciate Capone and his willingness to sacrifice everything to achieve his goals or to protect his family. He really helped the Straw Hats out. The Straw Hats that were in this arc got so much help. If they didn't get the help they got, they would have died, for sure. I was really wondering what was going to happen when they got to the point where Luffy won and escaped, if he was going to win, and how they were going to get him out of there while it was surrounded by literally the entire Big Mom pirate army. Was out in the sea, inland. They had all the mirrors destroyed except one mirror. They were waiting with their swords and their guns, like, we're going to shoot this Straw Hat son of a bitch with these hockey-laced bullets, I'm assuming. But luckily, Luffy wins the day. He gets saved sort of by Peekums, of all people, who was inspired by Pedro. And he captures Brule again so they can go through the glass mirror. Nami, oh my god, I didn't even talk about this. Meanwhile, we got Nami, we got Brook, we got Jinbe, we got Carrot, and we got Chopper on an adventure. Avoiding Smoothie, the long-legged lady, who can grow bigger somehow. She's got some kind of growth devil fruit. Chasing her around. There, that's going down. The Big Mom herself is floating around asking for wedding cake. She keeps getting skinnier and skinnier, which was kind of creepy. And only the interesting thing about her when she was yelling Big Mom, she's chasing them. And man, Jinbe had another amazing moment when he surfed basically the Thousand Sunny under the wave because they were going to tidal wave them and take them out that way. And he was like, nah, I can steer a ship good. They called him something like a helmsman or something, and he's steering that ship like nobody else could. Like between this wave, he's basically surfing the Thousand Sunny. I really enjoyed that. It's not even his ship, and he was able to make it work how he wanted it to. That was pretty cool, and it makes a lot of sense for a fishman to know the ocean so well. And I believe he blocked one of Big Mom's attacks with some armament hockey. That was insane in the membrane. Oh yeah, since I got a tanky on, check out my tattoo. Yeah, isn't that cool? And then my Luffy tattoo, if you can see it. Sorry, this camera's angled so weird. I got a Luffy tattoo right here. That's his fist. That's my Sanji flag. I love that he was able to block. I think he blocked Big Mom's attack. And then Nami and Chopper, of all people, were able to take out Big Mom's cloud thingy. I can't remember its name. Cut it in half. And Big Mom fell. It was something happened where fucking Brook cut it in half. And then Nami used her climax and made it shoot all its lightning out. And took Big Mom out so she couldn't float, right? Because she was about to kill them all. And I thought that was pretty cool. They used strategy. They knew they couldn't beat Big Mom physically, but they could strategically work around her. Nami's a smart person. I could see her figuring this out, especially with the weather situation going on. It was a little crazy to think that somebody like Nami and Brook could pull a maneuver like that off, at least how we've seen them shown, but it was cool that they got that moment together and they worked together. Chopper didn't really do much these last 20 chapters. He was very important. I feel like if he wasn't there, it would not be believable that Luffy was still alive after they escaped. Like, he needed immediate medical attention. But yeah, Jinbe kicked ass. Jinbe kicked ass floating that ship, blocking Big Mom. He was ready. He was prepared for this battle. He's going to be... I'm really starting to like Jinbe at this point. He's a good guy. I think it took a while for me to warm up to this guy, but he's a good future Straw Hat. Or he basically is one at this point. They do their thing. Luffy finally escapes from the mirror world after... I don't know what happened. They didn't really show it, but I think Pudding and Sanji kissed, and then she took that memory away. Sanji jumps in, grabs Luffy, from Peekums, who goes Sulong mode, which I haven't even brought up Sulong mode. Carrot had a major moment. She took out a bunch of ships. By the way, the Minks can go into this werewolf mode that they called Sulong mode, which I kind of wish was foreshadowed a little better at Zou, or at some point before it happened, because it almost felt like it was shoehorned in to get them out of a sticky situation. She transformed, and midway through their trip, beat the shit out of a bunch of Big Mom pirates, and I really liked the look of her transformation. She looked badass. But it did seem like out of nowhere, because they were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oda's like, oh, the Minks can transform. I'm sure he did set it up, but I don't remember any in particular moment where I was like, oh, they can transform, or some of them can transform, but it's dangerous for them. I do not remember that. But Peekums, who carried Luffy out of the mirror world, transforms into his form, and he's willing to sacrifice himself. He could possibly be dead. We did not find out if he didn't die. At the very least, the Big Mom pirates poked his eyes out so he wouldn't be a giant raging turtle lion, which sounds frightening. Luffy gets away thanks to Sanji, but then they get bombarded by other members of Big Mom's crew who can also moonwalk. And Sanji's like, I can't get away. They're in the sky. They're everywhere. We're screwed. And who? But this is right before I started reading this. I swear to God I called it. Germa 66 shows up. I forgot they were even involved in this freaking story by the time they showed up. But I remember that they escaped an attack from Big Mom's crew and took out a bunch of the rest of the whatever members of Big Mom's crew that they sent. Obviously, they sent the weaklings because all the strong members went after the Straw Hats. I mean, they really underestimated Germa 66. If they could just crush them, they might as well have just crushed them. Germa 66 must be much stronger than I assumed. But Sanji did say that he beat the shit out of one of his brothers. But I don't know if he's wearing his special suit that makes them even stronger. But I really don't know if Sanji has metal skin at this point as well. Because it sounds like his brothers and sisters have metal skin. That's interesting. Now, I was really hyped when they showed up and saved the day. But I didn't feel like, to me, they needed 3 brothers in this story. None of them really had I couldn't tell you who they are individually, is what I'm saying. None of them had a personality. They didn't have emotions, which I knew about, but it would have been nice if they all had a little bit of some kind of development. I guess that was part of their character, is that they had no character other than being dicks. But it would have been interesting if they all had a little bit more of their own quirk or personality trait to them so I can tell them apart other than their colors. The sister obviously had emotions, and we knew she was a sweetheart, and she saved them. I almost thought it would have been cool if they actually died, sacrificing themselves and destroying all of Germa 66 to take out a majority, just to keep Big Mom's pirates at bay. Even if they don't beat them, just like an ultimate sacrifice. But I thought that was cool that they came in and saved the day. I mean, I also think I forgot to mention this in my last review. I thought it was so sweet to see Sanji's dad cry when he thought it was all over, when they really tricked him and they had the gun to his head and his sons had no emotions. And they were like, I guess we're caught. We don't have our suits. This sucks, Dad. And they had no sadness or fear or anger. And I thought that was some sweet payback for this guy who treated Sanji like shit. But he started bawling like a baby. But he comes in, doesn't really make up for his shitty life that Sanji got from him. But in a way, it helped. Him making Sanji's life a living hell led him to the life he has now. So in a way, it worked out for him. But he saves his son, and it seems like they're getting away. But nope, no siree, Bob. They get stopped again by the other half of Big Mom's crew. But out of nowhere, the big monkfish man comes up and saves the day. Remember the monkfish man, the giant monkfish man who's like as big as oars? back at Fishman Island. He shows up. I remember him, and they've been setting this up. They said that he's part of the Fishman Pirates, the Sun Pirates now, so it makes sense. They were supposed to be long gone, though, and he shows up smashing ships and everything. I never would have in a million years said that this guy's ever going to be an important character to this story, but he becomes the absolute savior of saviors in that moment. And basically, the fishmen were there to literally sacrifice themselves so the Straw Hats could get away. And I thought they were just going to leave. It seemed like they were gonna, but no. Jinbe decides, Captain Luffy, I gotta stay. I can't leave my men behind. I'm sorry. If you gotta kick me out of the crew, you gotta kick me out of the crew. Luffy says something to the effect like, don't let even death keep you from coming to Wano and rejoining the crew that you're a part of, because I'm your captain now. I'm the captain now. Jinbe. Jinbe went back like a badass, and I do hope that Jinbe doesn't die. It would have been crazy, though, if they killed Jinbe in this, and like the fishmen didn't show up at all, and Jinbe stayed behind, and he made the ultimate sacrifice then and there. I would have been losing my fucking mind if they not only killed Lola's dad, Pedro, multiple citizens of Polecake Island, and now Jinbe. That would have really told me Oda's not fucking around with deaths anymore. He's going to kill major characters now. We'll see what happens with that. Pedro's death really did hit me. I mean, it was cool that he introduced the character in Zou only within 2 arcs. He killed him, and it had an emotional story, and it made sense. You know, his friend died at Whole Cake Island, and he came there ready to commit suicide. He was ready to do that. He was prepared and ready to say goodbye. He wanted to, in a lot of ways. He was just waiting for his moment. He knew at one point they would need that sacrifice to get away, that trump card. And it would have been cool if it was at the very end, but it made sense that it was at the moment that it happened. I do wish that candy guy with the tongue, I kind of wish that he died in the explosion, though. It would have felt better. Even if they wanted to keep him alive, they should have made the explosion on somebody like Oven. I don't know. It was cool seeing flashbacks of Katakuri as a kid with the Oven guy and the dude with the tongue, all the brothers hanging out. That was interesting. I liked seeing that emotional attachment, because you look at some of these villains, some of these brothers and sisters, and they're so one note, like, we are evil, I make candy and books, and you don't realize that there was actually, like, there was a kid, they were a kid once, they've been manipulated by their terrible mother who treats them like playthings. She literally calls Pudding her little doll that she can do what she wishes with, and that's how she uses her acting skills to trick men like Sanji. And it was super sweet, her falling in love with him for real at the end. I'm not sure if I think they should end up together, though. Because I really am a big fan of Nami and Sanji ending up together at the very end. That would be nice. But I'm also not against, at this point, Pudding. I think that Sanji really helped her get over some really bad emotional scars given to her by her mother and family. And people who treat her like a freak. And I think Sanji helped out. I really liked the last page of the last chapter. I think it was 902, where it was Sanji and Chef Zeph side by side, just showing how if Zeph saw what Sanji did at this arc, he would be so proud of him. I almost wish they brought Zeph to the arc. Like if Germa 66, when we first meet them, bring him in like as their captive. And he was involved in this arc in some way, shape, or form, whether he died, which would have been so sad. At least they still have that in their back pocket if they need it. Like if they do bring Zeph into the story at some point and use him as bait for Sanji, and maybe they're using him as like, hey, you put your weapons down or we're going to kill this guy. And Zeph is like, nah, I'll kill myself. Or something like jumps or something, bites his own tongue off, whatever, so that Sanji doesn't have to make that choice. You know, that would be a really, really sad but awesome moment emotionally. All in all, this arc was dope. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say that Whole Cake Island's my absolute favorite arc in all of One Piece. I would really have to sit down and look at them all, because they're all absolutely amazing. But some are better than others. I'm still not sure. I'm going to wait until I actually finish Whole Cake Island in the anime before I compare it to Dressrosa, because that does add a little bit of more elements, voice acting and whatnot. It adds some drama and more expanded scenes that I might catch something. The comedy hits harder when it's in the anime, so I could be into it much more than I am right. I mean, I'm really into it. I think it's an 8 or 9 out of 10, but maybe Dressrosa was 9.5. I don't know. And Doflamingo was dope. But Katakuri's dope. And I could see Katakuri being a big part of the rest of the story. I don't know about Doflamingo. He's in jail. I'd like to know more about that. This is more Morfanime. What did you think of Whole Cake Island? I really enjoyed it. Oh, before I sign out, maybe I should mention Sanji killing it with that wedding cake. Yeah. That took a while, but the fact that he did that and everybody who tasted it, even Bege, who wanted to poison it, decided not to because it tasted so good. And Sanji's like, I will not poison my food. I'm going to serve the customer, even if it's an emperor. And when they're full, we'll figure that out later. Killing her is later. We're going to feed her first. I like that he stuck to his guns, but at the same time, I feel like Sanji's going to be very sad if something happens down the line, if Big Mom becomes more of a problem down the line, and I feel like she is going to, if she comes out of nowhere and hurts somebody, part of the crew, or hurts Chef Zeph, and it's only if they had poisoned the cake, he might feel pretty bad. I mean, I'm happy he stuck to his guns there, and it was cool that his cake was so impressive that Bege was like, this is amazing, but it was like to die for, and she ate it, and she got big again. It was a crazy arc. There was a lot going on, a lot of loss. Oh, and that tree died, if you remember, back at the Seducing Woods. That tree was killed, and I think Nami has a slave cloud now that turned into a baby slave cloud. That was a great moment where she held the cloud, and she's like, "I don't think you understand this. You're not my friend. We're not becoming friends. You are my slave. You are now part of my power set. Get inside the staff of truth, and I'll call you out when I need you. I'll call you out when I'm in a fight. You're my power-up." This is Morfanime. What did you think of the review? What did you think of this arc? Please comment down below, and please don't forget to buy the Morfanime t-shirt and become a Morfanimaniac. Thank you to my subscribers. Please share and subscribe. Tell your friends. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll talk to you.